It's the conspiracy theory of the Democrats' October surprise. Joe Biden stepping down as president, Kamala Harris taking the role, getting a second honeymoon phase, becoming the first female president, as predicted by Gerald Ford, so they say. And now we got this poll. 6 in 10 voters say Joe Biden should step down as president now. Duh. When Joe Biden was talking about not running again for re-election, every conservative was like, if you can't run for re-election, you can't be president. But one step at a time, folks. We don't want him to step down, do we? Kamala Harris. Ooh, who does she choose as VP? Tim Walz. Kamala Harris becomes president. And then what? They appoint a vice president. So she chooses Walz. And then you've got Kamala Harris, incumbent. She then says, it's going to be my day one right now as president. Steals Trump's thunder, starts to enact policies that Trump says he wants, but doesn't actually get anything done because it's only an October surprise. And then once she gets elected, she doesn't do any of it. Here we go. The Daily Mail says Joe Biden may have ended his re-election effort, but almost 6 in 10 voters think he should go further and stand down as president. The 81-year-old bowed to pressure last month and stepped aside as the Democratic nominee for the presidential election after enduring weeks of scrutiny following a disastrous debate performance. Now voters are wondering whether he is fit enough to lead the country. If he is not fit enough to run again. Are wondering that if he's not fit enough to lead the country, he is. That's weird how they phrased it. A whopping 57% of likely voters polled by JL Partners said they believe the nation's oldest president should resign now. Those numbers include almost half of Democrats at 47%. Wow. Take a look at this. Who's the largest group? Republicans, 74%. Republicans should be the lowest. They should be saying, no, Joe, don't drop out. Everything he does with his bumbling, fumbling failures just reflects poorly on Kamala Harris. So let it ride. Now, when you look at all voters, it's 57%. When you look at male and female, it's mostly the same. Mostly, it's 57 say are that he should stand down as president. And then the red is he should not stand down. There are more men who think he should stay than women, which is actually really interesting. 18 to 29-year-olds, 56% say leave. 30 to 49 say leave. That's interesting. 30 to 49, hey, that's where I'm at. That's my age bracket. We say should get out. Non-graduates, it's all fairly comparable. Independent voters are at 52%. Democrats are at 46%. Trump voters, 73%. RFK Jr. voters, 68% say he should step down. That's interesting. You know, we had a really interesting argument the other day from one of our members on the Timcast Discord. Become a member at timcast.com if you'd like to call into the show. He made a great point. He said, I said RFK should step down and endorse Donald Trump. And he said, no, RFK should stay in the race so that the far leftists vote for him because they don't want to vote for Kamala. That's interesting. It was an interesting argument, and we got to suss this one out. I don't have a good answer for you. Here's the question. If RFK Jr. is in the race, will he take more votes from Kamala Harris or Donald Trump? I guess the argument being made, and it's a good one, is that Donald Trump has a diehard base. Kamala Harris has cult members. Most moderates are probably leaning towards Donald Trump because of economic reasons. But then you've got elements of the left that don't want to vote for Kamala because of Israel. And so they might vote for RFK Jr. as a protest vote against the Democratic Party. It makes sense. If RFK Jr. drops out and endorses Trump, the far left just says, I guess it's Kamala. But I don't know. I don't know that they do because they don't like Israel. So they might just not vote for either of them. Jill Stein's still there. It's tough to say. It's a really interesting call. Rich Barris, the People's Pundit, said RFK is taking from Trump, in which case RFK Jr. is going to need to drop out. But I suppose if RFK Jr. comes out and gives some more far leftist wackaloon policy proposals, then it doesn't matter, right? The White House has already dismissed calls for him to resign as ridiculous. Karine Jean-Pierre, Biden's press secretary, said the president believed he could have completed a second term and had no intention of leaving the White House early. And he wants to finish the job that he started and delivering more historic results for the American people, she told reporters of the White House soon after Biden ended his election run. Even so, questions about Biden's age and fitness for office have dogged his 3.5 years at the White House. They took on a new urgency last month when he froze up during his first campaign debate against Donald Trump on a stage in Atlanta. I bet in hindsight being 2020, they really do regret that debate. Trump could have said, no, I'm not debating Joe Biden, and it would have been a lot harder for him to pull out of the race. He watched slack-jawed at times when his opponent was speaking and seemed to lose his way when answering questions. Dude, he really did. The pictures of Biden just like standing there like with his mouth hanging open. Sad. Particularly brutal. Now, here we are. Cruz has predicted Harris will become the president. Interesting. I don't think he's wrong. Cruz predicted that Biden... there he is. There's the slack-jawed Joe Biden. We got that picture right there on SCNR.com. Cruz did predict this. He also predicted Biden would not be the nominee. To be fair, many of us predicted this. I said in September, I think it was September 13th, I took a screenshot of the video. It said Biden will drop out. And I'm like, they're warning that he may. I'm saying he can't be the nominee. How could he do it? That was in September. Well, ladies and gentlemen, things are getting interesting. RFK Jr. tried to meet with Kamala Harris to propose a cabinet job. The independent presidential candidate reportedly reached out to the campaign to discuss dropping out and endorsing Harris. Really? RFK Jr., the beleaguered independent presidential candidate, reached out to the Kamala Harris campaign last week to discuss dropping out of the race and endorsing the Democrat, according to multiple reports. Kennedy attempted to set up a meeting with Harris to propose him serving in her administration, possibly as a cabinet secretary, in exchange for his endorsement. Several outlets said that the Harris team did not respond to the approach from Kennedy, whose long-shot campaign is floundering following a series of controversies. Yo, Kennedy sounds like a fun guy. Doesn't sound like somebody who can win a presidency, but he sounds like a fun guy. Several outlets said that Harris's team did not respond to the approach. In the past weeks, Kennedy has apologized for an alleged sexual assault. What? Is that a joke? Are you kidding me? What is this? Woman who accused RFK Jr. of sexual assault says he apologized by text. Holy crap. How did I miss that story? He's been forced to explain why he staged the death of a bear cub in New York City Central Park and has had to deny eating a dog. Yo, RFK, you were invited to my parties. Just don't eat dogs. The staging the death of a bear cub thing is weird and illegal, but, you know. Also, the sexual assault thing, I didn't even know that happened. Maybe it doesn't sound fun. Maybe it sounds creepy. Kennedy's attempt to meet with Harris comes after he met with Donald Trump during the Republican National Convention, reportedly to discuss a similar proposal. A video posted online on July 16th showed a phone call between Trump and Kennedy, where the former president appeared to offer an opportunity for the pair to work together in the future. The Kennedy campaign did not respond to a request for comment. Earlier in the year, Kennedy was polling at around 10% nationally, but that has dropped to 5% over the past few months. That's right. The race is tightening up. This means that people who are saying, you know, you've got a primary, you had Joe Biden, nobody knew what was going on. And so people are like, Kennedy. But now that things are tightening up and it's looking like Trump, Kamala, they're going to say, look, sorry, RFK Jr., not interested. When we think about the margins, that states like Michigan, Wisconsin, any of those Midwestern states were decided in the last election, every single vote is going to count. Emmett Riley, a professor of politics at African and African American Studies at Sewanee University, and the chair of okay, I get it, told The Guardian last week, I hate when they do this. Like, seriously, dude? This credentialism? You can just say a professor of politics at Sewanee University. Bye. Jeez. And so if it comes down to 30,000 votes, if it comes down to 5,000 votes, a small portion there for Kennedy would likely have a major impact on either Trump's ability to get to 270 or Kamala Harris's ability to get to 270. Here's what I think. I think RFK Jr. probably pulled more from Democrats when Joe Biden was the nominee. People did not like Joe Biden, and they were like, I'll take RFK, I guess. But now they've offered up Kamala Harris as a younger, 60 years old. And she's 59, but you get the point. A lot of people are going to be like, I'll take it. Her brain works fine. And they don't like Donald Trump. RFK Jr. was the alternative to Joe Biden, but with Joe Biden dropping out, RFK is probably more an obstruction for Donald Trump. In which case, RFK Jr., you should drop out and endorse Donald Trump. Donald Trump will give you that position and is more likely to open up to your anti-big pharma positions. That's the opportunity. That's why I don't think it's good that he stays in the race. But if he does, more power to him. I like the guy. I think he's funny. And I think he's a wild dude. He's very serious about environmental toxins. Those are big issues for the right and only a small issue for the left. The left doesn't really care about this stuff. Like a little bit, but not really. It is the hippie libertarian right-wing element that are saying things like don't eat seed oils. You know, what's the next thing they're getting on? I don't even know half the time. Don't eat seed oils, and then they're eating seed oils. But they try to avoid all the stuff. They try to be healthy. RFK Jr. represents that faction. If he endorses Donald Trump and says, if Donald Trump offers him a position at the EPA or in some capacity of dealing with big pharma, RFK Jr. coming out and saying, Donald Trump may have gotten it wrong on COVID, and he may have gotten it wrong with Operation. I don't need to talk like that because people already don't like it. But he could say, like, he got it wrong with warp speed. But now I'm coming in, and we're going to make sure that doesn't happen again. His numbers go up. Donald Trump recently came out and said they're not going to allow the lockdowns all over again. Okay? You need RFK, buddy. RFK Jr., Kamala Harris reportedly shot him down. So right now, what we're looking at is Kamala's probably going to be president. I think that's a strong probability. I think RFK Jr. should go for the Trump ticket. He should get a job with the Trump administration. Maybe he's hedging his bets and thinking Kamala might win, fielding all of his options. We'll see. I'll leave it there. Smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, share the show with your friends. Head over to timcast.com, click join us, become a member. And you can follow me on X and Instagram at Timcast. Next segment will be up at 6 p.m. Let's talk about why people have gone insane and why this woman is in an AT&T store pulling her pants down and making insane noises. People are asking. Dr. Jebra Fauché says, what makes people do things like this? Yes, let me show you. And I'll break it down for you. I think it's a cyber attack from China. I really do. For everybody else hanging out, we'll get to your super chats now. And for everyone else, we'll see you at 6 p.m.